Hi, it's Justina here from Flight of the Phoenix Holistic Therapy. Today I want to talk about panic attacks, or anxiety attacks. I really want to share my personal experience, as always. Personal story is the best to kind of outline how I went through it. My first experience of panic attack was, I think I was around 34, and it happened when I was in my flat. My husband Philip was away for a few weeks, I think days, in different country in Thailand, and I think his flight was cancelled. And I didn't think much of it, but I started watching a movie, like I knew he's gonna come back. And the movie I chosen was a little bit action movie. I feel like I always liked action movies, so I was like, oh, let me just watch a movie. And then I suddenly started feeling a little bit off and um like nauseous, dizzy. I started sweating a bit and had to run to toilet. Everything started happening, and naturally, I associated it with some physical issue. I thought that, oh, maybe I exaggerated with this diet because I always go on some kind of diet when my husband is away. So I have no distractions. I think at that time I was drinking a lot of kale juices or something. And I was thinking to myself, oh, maybe it's this diet. It's maybe, I exaggerated with the kale, and now I have this metallic taste in my mouth. And I started Googling, and Googling is just for symptoms. I obviously discovered that I'm dying of iron poisoning or some sort of thing of that sort. And I'm just like, this is weird. I was fine a few minutes ago. Um, and then I was thinking, oh, well, maybe it's a panic attack, but the feeling and the nausea was going for some time. It was longer than 30 minutes, and I read somewhere in Google that it's supposed to be less than 30 minutes. Obviously, every panic attack is different and experience is different. So I um I kind of assumed that something wrong physically with me, some serious condition. So, because my partner was away and I was completely alone, and I should say that I'm a Polish person living in Australia. I don't have here close family. I have few friends, but basically, I think I felt alone, and maybe him being away and his flight being cancelled, I think a couple of times really triggered me and perhaps my loneliness or fear of being alone, that it caused that situation. So basically, I decided that I'm gonna wait for him to come back, and then we're gonna go to emergency. Uh, and I kind of, being a yoga teacher at the time, I thought to myself, let me just breathe through it. I'm gonna be fine. And I started, and I just stopped watching this action movie. I completely switched off everything. I lie down on my left side, I remember, and I started just breathing, like keeping longer exhales because it seemed to work at the time. And I went through this panic like entire night. Being very lonely, very vulnerable. It triggered some stuff for sure. Next day I went to the next day my husband came back. And then we went to emergency, and I was in such a state that I couldn't even sit on the chair waiting for the nurse or anything. I was literally, something is seriously wrong with me. There's like, it's something serious. Having history of my sister dying of cancer, my father dying at age 63, I believe. It's just that fear of death was pretty um, imminent. It's a real thing. It happens. And I just immediately my mind went to I must be having some serious condition and I'm gonna die of it and this is it. And then I had all my vitals checked and things like that. And the nurse basically said, or the doctor, that there's nothing wrong physically with you. There's absolutely nothing wrong. Your vitals are normal. I should add that I had like heart palpitations as well. Yeah, absolutely normal. And she started asking me, is there anything that happened recently in your life that might have caused these symptoms? And I'm like, I mean, nothing huge. Like I had worse happening in my life, you know. But obviously something in that absence of my partner and the fact that he couldn't come back to the country triggered a physical response that I was not able to control. So that was my first panic attack. And since then I had many. And they often happen in a weird situation. Either I was in a bus or I would be watching a movie and feeling completely relaxed and it would just start. Um, and with time, I started noticing the first symptoms. So building the awareness around recognizing when the panic attack's gonna happen is a huge thing. Um, And of course, it takes time. You need to realize what's happening. Like if you were fine entire day and you have no underlying health conditions, it's um it's can be safely assumed that whatever is happening, it might be some kind of panic or anxiety attack. At least that's how I assumed it now. So whenever I feel that I have some kind of stress response, like heart palpitation, short breath, sticky hands, and this feeling, like the feeling of dread and that I'm gonna die, it's like doom and gloom in literally 1 second. And nothing is happening around me, and I'm not thinking anything negative. I'm completely relaxed. I know these are my symptoms for panic and what should I be doing now with it. So it's important to have tool that will work for you. And in my previous post, I outlined a few tools. For me personally, breath, mantra, and hug works most, but it's not somebody else's hug because I feel confined and obstructed. It's my own hug. So basically, what I do, and I'm going to show you here, I hug myself. My right hand is underneath my left armpit. It's kind of on the bra line. Then I put my left arm over and I just hug myself. And I inhale for 3 and exhale for 5 or 6 counts. And I keep going with this breath. And the next step is once I start controlling my breath, I repeat to myself, I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. I am totally safe. I am safe. And it's just going through this till it goes away. It's the way it happens when it goes away, it's kind of you start feeling more clear. And that metallic taste comes away from your mouth and you start feeling more relaxed and you actually believe, you tell your mind, I am safe, I am totally safe right now. There's no reason for me to feel this way. So yes, this is how I do it. And your question, you might be asking yourself, why is this happening to me? Why am I experiencing this? Because to quote the famous book, the body keeps the score. So whatever your experiences in life have been, um, they're stuck in your body. It's energy, um, and and the body also remembers things. It might be that time of the year or the day, the month, that something at that time happened somewhere. in your life, and your body will remember that experience and will reenact that panic that happened then, or it's possible that you didn't have a chance to process it then because you were helpless or you were in a situation you couldn't get out of. And it's gonna replay in the moment when you relaxed, because it can, because why not now? So it doesn't have to happen when you're actually thinking something sad or you reminisce on something. It's just something else might trigger that reaction. It can be smell, it can be taste, it can be somebody said something, or words, raised voice. These days, the biggest source of my panic attacks would be my work. So not as a holistic therapist, but rather when I'm working in my day job. It happens when I'm in a high stress situation and I'm overworking myself. I don't take breaks. I don't drink water. I don't meditate. I'm just basically following the tasks and work as fast as I can to meet the deadlines or to meet expectations which I made up in my head. That can often trigger my panic attack. The feeling of being trapped, the overwhelmed thing, which I said already. Yes, the feeling of helplessness and not seeing the ability, not having the ability to see the way out of the situation is another one that is big for me. So obviously everybody is different and different tools work for different people. It's important to explore what works for you. And if you even have or notice that you have an experience of a panic attack. So to summarize, it's important to build awareness of your symptoms, first symptoms of your panic. Then develop the tools that you can use, like hug, breath, mantra, cold water on your hands. So develop the tools, and then allowing yourself to understand that this is totally normal, that having panic attack is normal, and you are not alone in this. And I think that's my message today. Loads of us will experience panic attacks. It may be work related, it may be related to your past experiences even. I was going to say post-traumatic experiences. It can be anything, really. Social anxiety, any type of anxiety. And it's important to learn what triggers you individually and what you need in order to create a space and freedom in your daily life. So I hope that makes sense. Have a good day and speak soon. Bye bye.